Welcome back to Strayatrains. In this video we're going to take a look at the Richmond MCG Service, which is a special only events extra service that runs from time to time. Hope you enjoy the video. Now just before we start, I think this is, in my opinion, the ultimate announcement. Here is a Richmond service terminating on a Stage 3 commenge at Richmond Station. The Richmond MCG service is rather interesting for a few reasons. One of the oddities is it is technically a service that runs across two separate groups. The Richmond service will originate typically from either Craigieburn or Sunbury stations, run all the way direct to Flinders Street, and then on to Richmond, afterwards going empty cars to the side-ins. Even if the Northern Loop is running, the Richmond MCG services will run direct to Flinders Street, running at North Melbourne, Southern Cross and then Flinders Street. Afterwards, they typically head towards Platform 2 at Richmond, terminate there and run empty cars to Sandringham sidings, but sometimes due to operational requirements or if there are any occupations, they might run empty to a different yard, typically from Platform 4 towards any yard on the Frankston line. This means it is actually possible to get on a Sunbury or Craigieburn service at Richmond Station, which we'll take a look at later on in the video. Now, the next question is, when exactly do these services run? Well, typically they only run for major events, such as footy games, cricket games, or concerts at the MCG. In terms of displays, here is a passenger information display at Flinders Street Station, Platform 10, showing two Richmond services. Because it is pink, we know they were terminated at Richmond Platform 2 and stable at Sandringham sidings. Here is a Richmond service in the yellow Northern Group colouring on the passenger information display inside a commenge. And for the return trip, a Sunbury service stopping all stations to Sunbury except South Kensington via Flinders Street. How cool, a Sunbury service originating at Richmond Station, which typically doesn't see Sunbury line services. Now, how do you know exactly if a Richmond extra service is running? Well, there's no set rule of when it will run, but here is a few things you might want to do. Number one, you can actually check the PTV app. If you head to Flinders Street Station and take a look on the Sandringham line, if the Richmond service is terminating at Platform 2 at Richmond, it will show up on the Sandringham line as a service stopping all stations to Richmond. If it is terminating at Platform 4 at Richmond, it will show up as a Frankston line service. Another way is to just go out and check for yourself, and typically if there is a footy game of, I don't know, roughly 40,000 or more expected crowd, there will probably be a Richmond MCG service. However, do note that in order to run an MCG service, the Sunbury line or Craigieburn line, wherever the train originates from, it must be running. So if there is an occupation and there are buses replacing trains for any section on the line, even if it's just a few stations, an MCG Richmond service will likely not run. Thank you so much for watching this really short, quick video. Hope you learnt a thing or two about the Richmond MCG service, and I think we'll leave it at that. Cheers.